All right, so boom. You're looking at your screen, probably thinking, Dominica? That sounds expensive. Tropical paradise, lush green mountains, whales. Yeah, that's gonna cost me. And usually you'd be right. But I'm here to tell you, that it doesn't have to be. This isn't just another travel vlog. This is a mission. My mission, should you choose to accept it by watching this video, is to prove that adventure isn't just for the rich. Welcome to your ultimate guide to traveling Dominica on a budget in 2025. We're talking about a real, raw, incredible experience. This whole idea started, like most of my crazy ideas, with a challenge. Could I, or Levexa, actually experience the best of Dominica, the nature island, without completely emptying my bank account? Could I keep it under a super tight budget? We're not just talking about surviving, we're talking about, we'll show you how to enjoy this beautiful island for just $60 a night, including amazing activities like seeing sperm whales and snorkeling. Yeah, you heard that right. $60 for everything. It sounds insane, I know, but stick with me. It's gonna be a ride. We're gonna get creative, we're gonna get local, and we're gonna uncover some serious gems that most tourists probably fly right over. This is about making memories, not just taking pictures for the gram, though we'll do that too, obviously. So, if you're tired of travel guides that assume you've got an unlimited trust fund, or if you just love the idea of a challenge, then you're in the right place. Let's do this. Let's conquer Dominica on a budget. Okay, first things first, where are you gonna sleep? This is usually where the budget goes to die, right? You see those fancy eco-lodges, those beachfront resorts, and your wallet just starts weeping. But hold up. Dominica has options, serious options, if you're willing to look beyond the glossy brochures. We're not aiming for the Ritz-Carlton here. We're aiming for clean, safe, and local. Think guest houses, homestays, maybe even a cool little apartment rental tucked away from the main tourist drag. These places exist, and they're often run by the most amazing local people who give you a real taste of Dominican hospitality. Finding them takes a little bit of digging, I'm not gonna lie. You gotta go beyond the first page of Google. Look at local classifieds online if you can find them, check out smaller booking sites, or even better, ask around when you get there. Sometimes the best deals are found word of mouth. I spent a good chunk of time researching this before I even booked my flight, making lists, sending emails. It's work, but it pays off, literally. The goal is to find something that leaves you enough cash for, actually stuff during the day. I stumbled upon a few gems. There are family-run guest houses in smaller villages that are incredibly charming and super affordable. You might not get a mint on your pillow, but you'll get a genuine smile and a comfortable bed. And honestly, isn't that what it's about? Connecting with the place, not just staying in a generic hotel room that could be anywhere in the world. These spots often have shared kitchens too, which is a massive money saver for meals. But we'll get to that later. Another angle is looking slightly inland. Everyone wants to be right on the beach, and that comes with a premium. But Dominica's interior is stunning, full of rainforests and rivers. You can find some incredible little spots just a short bus ride or a scooter trip away from the coast, and they're often significantly cheaper. Plus, you get a different vibe, a more immersive experience in the nature island. Don't be afraid to trade that immediate ocean view for something a little more offbeat. Trust me, the adventure is worth it. Hostels aren't as prevalent here as in some other backpacking destinations, but they do exist, especially around popular hiking areas or in Roseau, the capital. If you're a solo traveler or just looking to meet other people, this can be a fantastic option. Dorm beds are obviously the cheapest way to go. Just make sure you read the reviews, check the location, and see what amenities are included. A locker for your stuff is always a good sign. And let's talk about timing. If you can travel in the shoulder season, just before or after the peak tourist rush, you're going to find better deals on accommodation. Prices can drop significantly. Yeah, the weather might be a tiny bit more unpredictable, but Dominica is green for a reason. It rains. A little bit of rain never hurt anyone, especially when it means saving a big chunk of your budget. It's all about being flexible and smart. One more pro tip, don't be afraid to negotiate, especially if you're staying for a longer period. If you're booking directly with a small guest house, sometimes they're open to giving you a slightly better rate for a week-long stay versus just a night or two. The worst they can say is no, right? But you'd be surprised how often a polite inquiry can save you a few bucks. Every dollar saved on a room is a dollar you can spend on an experience. When I was planning this trip, I found this amazing little spot run by a local family. It wasn't fancy, but it was clean, it was safe, and the views from the little porch were insane. It cost me something like $30 a night. 30 bucks. That leaves a lot of room in that $60 daily budget for food and adventures. This is key. Your accommodation shouldn't eat up your entire day's allowance. It's a base, a place to recharge, not a financial black hole. So, the takeaway here is, do your homework. Be open to different types of places. Don't just click on the first shiny thing you see. The affordable spots are out there. You just have to be a bit of a detective. And when you find them, it feels like a massive win, like you've cracked the code. It sets the tone for the whole trip, knowing you're starting off smart and savvy. Remember, this journey is about proving that incredible travel experiences don't need to come with a 5-star price tag. It's about resourcefulness, about connecting with the local culture in a more authentic way, and about prioritizing experiences over extravagance. That $60 a night goal? Totally achievable if you nail this part. So get searching, get creative, and get ready to find your perfect budget-friendly Dominican home away from home. All right, you've got a place to sleep that isn't costing you an arm and a leg. Next big budget buster? Food. Man, food can drain your wallet fast, especially in tourist spots. You walk past those restaurants with the nice tablecloths and the ocean views, and suddenly your $60 a day is looking more like $60 a meal. No bueno. But just like with accommodation, Dominica has got your back if you know where to look and what to eat. We're talking delicious, authentic, and cheap. The golden rule? Eat where the locals eat. Seriously, this is the best advice I can give you for any budget travel, anywhere in the world. If you see a little spot, maybe it doesn't even have a sign, just a couple of plastic tables and chairs, and it's packed with Dominicans on their lunch break. That's where you want to be. The food is going to be good, it's going to be fresh, and it's going to be a fraction of the price of the tourist traps. Look for Creole kitchens or local food shacks. These places often serve up amazing plates of chicken, fish, or goat, usually with a mountain of rice and peas, dasheen, a local root vegetable like taro, plantains, and a little side salad. It's hearty, it's flavorful, and it'll keep you going for hours. A plate like this might set you back just a few US dollars. Compare that to a $25 burger at a resort restaurant. It's a no-brainer. Street food is your friend. Oh man, Dominican street food. You'll find vendors selling baked fried dough, sometimes stuffed with saltfish or cheese, which are perfect for a quick breakfast or snack. Grilled chicken or fish from roadside stalls? Yes, please. Fresh fruit smoothies from a cart on the corner? The best. These aren't just cheap eats, they're part of the experience. Eating a hot bake while walking through a bustling market is pure Dominica. Speaking of markets, hit them up. The markets in Roseau or Portsmouth are incredible. You can buy fresh fruits, mangoes, passion fruit, bananas, things you've never even heard of, for next to nothing. This is perfect for breakfasts or snacks. Grab a loaf of bread from a local bakery, some cheese, some fruit, and you've got a picnic sorted for a hike or a day at the beach. This saves so much money compared to eating out for every single meal. If your accommodation has a kitchen, even a basic one, use it. This is a game changer for budget travel. You can cook a couple of meals a day yourself. Buy some local produce, maybe some eggs, some pasta or rice. It doesn't have to be gourmet. A simple breakfast at your guest house before heading out, or a pasta dinner after a long day of exploring, can save you a ton. Plus, wandering through a Dominican supermarket is an adventure in itself. Avoid imported stuff as much as possible. Anything that has to be shipped to the island is going to be more expensive. Stick to local brands, local produce, local drinks. Try the local Kubuli beer instead of an imported brand. Drink the local rum. It's delicious and cheap. Water is important too. Buying bottled water all the time adds up. Consider getting a water bottle with a built-in filter, or buy larger jugs of water to refill your bottle. Don't be shy. Ask locals for recommendations. Where's a good place to get some chicken and rice around here? People are usually super friendly and happy to point you in the direction of their favorite cheap eat. I've discovered some of my best travel food experiences this way, places I never would have found on my own or in any guidebook. It's about being open and engaging. Lunch is often the biggest and best value meal of the day at local spots. Many places will have a plate lunch special that's super affordable. You can eat a big, satisfying lunch and then have a lighter, cheaper dinner, maybe just some fruit and bread or something you've prepared yourself. This strategy works really well for keeping food costs down. It's what a lot of locals do, so you're just fitting right in. So forget those fancy, overpriced menus. Embrace the roadside stands, the bustling markets, the little local eateries tucked down side streets. This is where you'll find the real flavor of Dominica, and your wallet will thank you for it. Eating well on this island for $15 to $20 a day is totally doable, leaving you plenty of that $60 for everything else. It's not about deprivation, it's about discovery. Finding that amazing $5 meal is a win, a story, a part of the adventure. Chapter 3. Okay, so you're sleeping cheap, you're eating cheap. Now for the fun part, what are you actually going to in Dominica? This is the nature island, remember? And the best thing about nature? A lot of it is free or very, very cheap. You don't need to shell out hundreds of dollars for organized tours every day to have an incredible time here. In fact, some of the most memorable experiences are the ones you discover on your own. Hiking. Dominica is a hiker's paradise. There are trails everywhere, from easy strolls to challenging multi-day treks like the Waitukubuli National Trail. Many of these trails lead to breathtaking waterfalls, volcanic landscapes, and incredible viewpoints. And guess what? Most of them are free to access. You just need a good pair of shoes, some water, and a sense of adventure. Grab a map or use an app like All Trails and just go explore. Waterfalls everywhere. Dominica is famous for them. Trafalgar Falls is probably the most well-known, and there's a small entrance fee, but it's totally worth it for the Twin Falls. But there are so many others. Middleham Falls, Emerald Pool, another small fee but iconic. Sari Falls, Victoria Falls. Some are easy to get to, others require a bit more of a hike, which just adds to the adventure. Imagine swimming in a cool pool at the base of a jungle waterfall. That's Dominica. Beaches. While Dominica isn't primarily known for its white sandy beaches like some other Caribbean islands, it's more about rugged volcanic coastlines. There are still some beautiful stretches of sand to enjoy. Merrow Beach is popular and has facilities, but if you explore, you can find more secluded spots. Champagne Reef is famous for snorkeling. We'll get to that. And the beach there is unique. Pack a towel, some sunscreen, and enjoy a day by the sea for free. Exploring the towns and villages is an adventure in itself. Roseau, the capital, is a vibrant, bustling place with colorful colonial architecture. Portsmouth up north has a more laid-back vibe. Wander through the streets, soak up the atmosphere, chat with locals. This costs nothing but your time, and it gives you a real feel for the island's culture and daily life. You'll stumble upon little shops, local artisans, and scenes you'd miss if you were just rushing from one tourist site to another, river tubing or just swimming in the rivers. Dominica has something like 365 rivers, one for every day of the year, or so they say. Many of these rivers are crystal clear and perfect for a refreshing dip on a hot day. Some local operators offer river tubing experiences for a reasonable price, or you can just find a safe, accessible spot and enjoy the cool water. Always be mindful of currents and safety, of course. Look for free local events or gatherings. Sometimes there might be a local cricket match, a community festival, or live music happening. Ask around at your guest house or check local notice boards. These can be amazing opportunities to experience Dominican culture firsthand and meet people, and they often don't cost anything to attend or observe. It's about being open to spontaneous experiences. The botanical gardens in Roseau are a beautiful, peaceful place to spend a few hours, and entry is free. It's a great spot for a picnic, a leisurely stroll, or just to escape the heat of the city. You can see a huge variety of tropical plants and trees, and even the famous crushed bus from Hurricane David, a sobering reminder of nature's power. Many of the island's natural hot springs are another low-cost activity. While some are part of spas, others are more rustic and accessible for a small fee, or even free if you find the right local spot. Soaking in warm sulfurous water in the middle of the rainforest? Incredible. Places like Tiquenglocho or Bongo Baths offer a more developed but still affordable experience. It's the perfect way to relax after a long hike. The key here is to embrace the do-it-yourself spirit. You don't need a guide for everything. With a bit of research and a willingness to explore, you can fill your days with incredible adventures that barely make a dent in your $60 budget. Renting a scooter for a day can be a cost-effective way to see a lot, giving you the freedom to stop wherever you want. Just be careful on those winding Dominican roads. Dominica's real treasure is its nature, and so much of that is accessible to everyone, regardless of budget. It's about lacing up your boots, packing your day pack, and heading out to discover it. The views, the sounds of the rainforest, the feeling of accomplishment after a tough hike, those are the things you'll remember, and they don't cost a dime. This island rewards the curious and the adventurous. Chapter 4. Alright, this is a big one. Literally, sperm whales. Dominica is one of the best places to see sperm whales year-round. It's a resident population, which is pretty unique. Now you hear whale watching and you immediately think expensive tour. And yeah, a lot of the dedicated whale watching tours can be pricey, easily blowing that $60 a day budget in one go. But like everything else on this trip, we're looking for the smart, budget-friendly way to do it. First, let's be realistic. Seeing sperm whales usually requires a boat. They live in deep water, often a few miles offshore. So the chances of spotting them from the beach, while not zero, are pretty slim. You're going to need to get out on the water. The challenge is doing that without paying a fortune. This is where your research and local connections come in again. Instead of going for the big, advertised tour companies right away, look for smaller local boat operators. Sometimes fishermen who know the waters well might be willing to take small groups out for a more reasonable price, especially if they're already heading out. This requires asking around, maybe at the fish market or through your guest house owner. It's less formal, but it can be a more authentic and much cheaper experience. Another strategy is to look for shared charters or see if you can get a group together. If you're staying at a guest house or hostel with other travelers, see if anyone else is interested in whale watching. If you can get 4 or 5 people together, you can often negotiate a better price with a boat captain than if you're just 1 or 2 people. Strengthen numbers, people. Consider the type of tour. Some tours are specifically whale watching focused, with hydrophones to listen for the whales and marine biologist guides. These are amazing, but they're usually the most expensive. Other boat trips might be more general coastal tours or trips to snorkeling spots, but they still pass through areas where whales are often seen. If the captain is local, they'll know the spots. You might get lucky and see whales as a bonus on a less expensive trip. The west coast of Dominica, from Scotts Head up to Portsmouth, is generally the prime area for sperm whale sightings because the ocean floor drops off very steeply close to shore, creating the deep water environment they prefer. So any boat trip you take along this coast increases your chances. Even if you just hire a water taxi to get from one village to another, keep your eyes peeled. Timing can also play a role. Though sperm whales are here year-round, some operators might offer slightly lower prices during the off-peak tourist season. It's always worth asking. And remember, whale sightings are never guaranteed no matter how much you pay. It's wildlife. So go with realistic expectations and enjoy the boat trip and the stunning Dominican coastline even if the giants of the deep decide to be elusive that day. I managed to find a local fisherman who was heading out to check his pots and agreed to take me and a couple of other travelers along for a price that was way less than the official tours. We didn't have a fancy guide, but he knew those waters like the back of his hand. And guess what? We saw a pod of sperm whales. It was breathtaking. The boat was small, we were close to the water, and it felt so raw and real. An experience like that? Priceless, even though it fit the budget. It's also worth checking with dive shops. Sometimes they run whale watching trips or incorporate whale spotting into their dive excursions. If you're a diver, this could be a 2-for-1 deal. Even if you're not diving, they might have space on a boat heading to a dive site that passes through whale territory, and they might offer a rider spot for a reduced rate just to look for whales. Always explore every option. So yes, seeing sperm whales on a budget in Dominica is possible. It takes a bit more effort, a bit more asking around, and maybe a bit of luck. But the reward witnessing these incredible creatures in their natural habitat is totally worth it. Don't let the initial sticker shock of big tours put you off. Get creative, talk to people, and be open to less conventional options. The key is to be persistent and resourceful. Don't just accept the first price you're quoted. Ask if there are shorter trips or if they have any last-minute deals. Sometimes, just showing genuine enthusiasm and explaining you're on a tight budget can open doors. Dominicans are generally very welcoming, and many small operators appreciate the business. This is adventure, remember? The hunt for the affordable whale trip is part of it. All right, we've covered sleeping, eating, land adventures, even giant whales. Now let's get the water. Dominica has some incredible snorkeling with vibrant reefs and unique underwater features. And the best part? A lot of it is super accessible and can be done very cheaply or even for free if you have your own gear. This is where that $60 a day budget can really stretch. First tip, and it's a big one. Bring your own mask, snorkel, and even fins if you have space. Renting gear every day adds up fast. A decent mask and snorkel set isn't super expensive to buy before your trip, and it'll pay for itself after just a couple of uses. Plus, you know it fits, it doesn't leak, and no one else's mouth has been on that snorkel. That's a win-win-win. Champagne Reef. This is probably Dominica's most famous snorkeling spot, and for good reason. Geothermal vents on the seafloor release streams of tiny bubbles, making it feel like you're swimming in a glass of champagne. It's a unique experience. There's a small fee to enter the area if you go through the main access point, which includes facilities, but the snorkeling itself is right off the shore. You can easily spend hours here exploring. But Champagne Reef isn't the only spot. Scotts Head, at the southern tip of the island, offers fantastic snorkeling around the peninsula, where the Atlantic meets the Caribbean. The Soufriere Bay area, where Champagne Reef is located, has other good spots too. Ask locals or at your guest house for recommendations for shore-accessible snorkeling. There are little coves and rocky outcrops all along the west coast that can be great. Safety first, always. Never snorkel alone, especially if you're exploring a new spot. Be aware of currents, waves, and any boat traffic. If you're not a strong swimmer, wear a PFD or a snorkel vest. The beauty of Dominica's underwater world is amazing, but it's not worth risking your safety. Start in calm, shallow areas until you get comfortable. Look for places where you can just walk in from the beach or rocks. This saves you the cost of a boat trip. Merrow Beach, while popular for swimming, has some decent snorkeling at the northern end near the rocks. Tucari Bay up north is another beautiful spot with calm waters and good snorkeling right off the beach, often with sea turtles. Again, having your own gear here is clutch. If you do want to take a boat trip to an offshore reef or a more remote spot, try to combine it with something else. Maybe that whale watching trip you negotiated also includes a stop at a snorkel spot. Or perhaps a water taxi between villages can drop you off at a good reef for an hour. Look for multi-purpose trips to get more bang for your buck. Protect the reef. This is super important. Don't touch the coral, don't stand on it, don't kick it with your fins. Coral is incredibly fragile and takes a long time to grow. Use reef-safe sunscreen, or better yet, wear a rash guard or t-shirt to protect yourself from the sun. We want these beautiful underwater ecosystems to be around for future generations to enjoy. Be a responsible snorkeler. What can you expect to see? Dominica's reefs are home to a huge variety of colorful fish, parrotfish, angelfish, sergeant majors, trumpetfish, as well as sponges, sea fans, and sometimes even turtles or rays. The volcanic formations underwater create interesting landscapes of rocks, ledges, and swim-throughs in some areas. It's a whole different world down there, peaceful and fascinating. Even if you're a beginner, don't be intimidated. Snorkeling is easy to learn. Just float, breathe, and look. Find a calm bay, practice near the shore, and you'll get the hang of it in no time. The reward is access to this incredible underwater spectacle for basically the cost of your gear, if you bought it, or a small rental fee. So, pack that mask. Or rent one for a day from a local dive shop if you must. Dominica's underwater beauty is a must-see, and it's one of the most budget-friendly big-ticket experiences you can have. From the unique bubbling sands of Champagne Reef to the vibrant coral gardens in more secluded bays, there's so much to explore. Just remember to be safe, be respectful of the marine environment, and have an amazing time. So, there you have it, Dominica, on a budget. We talked cheap sleeps, amazing local food that won't break the bank, epic free adventures, how to spot those incredible sperm whales without selling your soul, and snorkeling in an underwater paradise for pennies. The $60 a day challenge? Totally doable. It takes a bit of planning, a bit of grit, and a willingness to step off the beaten path. But man, is it worth it. This island is pure magic, and experiencing it this way, connecting with the people and the raw nature, is something special. This isn't just about saving money. It's about a different way to travel. It's about proving that adventure is accessible, that you don't need a massive bankroll to see the world and have life-changing experiences. Dominica is waiting with its waterfalls, its mountains, its whales, and its incredible people. The only thing missing is you. So what are you waiting for? Start planning, start dreaming, and go make it happen. You got this. Thanks for watching. I hope this guide inspired you and gave you the practical tips you need to tackle your own Dominican adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more travel tips and guides from me, or Livexa. Drop a comment below if you have questions or your own Dominica budget tips. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, keep exploring, keep adventuring. Happy travels!